Hello, I am famous musician and domestic violence enthusiast, Chris Brown. While I bear a passing resemblance to notorious alcoholic madman DJ Peach Cobbler, we simply cannot be the same person, because I wear earrings which I won off a woman in the heat of battle, and I did not commit crimes against humanity in the Balkans. I've been contacted by the Central Intelligence Agency of America to speak to you, the American public, on the matter of this video, as research has found that the American public trust celebrities. This is a terrible mistake. I will hurt you. I do not acknowledge that you are human. Due to the content contained within this video, it has been deemed unsuitable for general audiences. You should only watch this internet video if you meet the following criteria. 1. You are currently gainfully employed. 2. You do not consume subversive literature. 3. You are over the age of 25 if you are male, and 21 if you are female. And 4. You would agree with the following statement. Censorship is required to keep the public safe from dangerous ideas. If you meet these requirements, then you have been permitted to consume the following content. If you do not meet these requirements, then it is already too late. We would like to thank you for your time and patience, as this video contains delicate material which may upset, anger, or even radicalize the borderline subversive. Thank you. This has been playing on my TV for like the past week straight. It's not hooked up to anything. That's clearly me, right? The CIA is not connected in any way whatsoever to any produce companies, particularly Chiquita Brands International. The CIA does not work on the behalf of private businesses and deprive people of the inalienable right to choose their own government. The CIA does not use your tax dollars to do the bidding of fruit companies. The CIA does not kill foreign nationals in order to keep fruit prices low. Harold Blower was a professional tennis player admitted to the New York State Psychiatric Hospital seeking help for depression following a divorce. He was then injected with mescaline, a hallucinogenic drug which produces similar effects to LSD, on December 30th, 1952. He died 30 minutes later after a fit of epileptic seizures. Frank Olson was a civilian employee of the Army Chemical Corps who had his drink spiked with LSD while at work with Sidney Gottlieb, the man in charge of the Ultra Project. Following his drugging, Olson was, according to the agency, mentally disturbed. He even told his boss that he intended to resign from the Army Chemical Corps, which produces and tests chemical weapons. He was convinced to stay on, and the CIA referred him to a psychologist in New York City named Dr. Abramson, who is actually just an allergist. While in New York City, Mr. Olson fell 13 stories from his hotel window and died before medical help could arrive. The CIA's position on the Olson matter is that it was a suicide. It was not. Autopsies have shown injuries that are not consistent with a man that would have jumped from a window, but from a man that was pushed out a window. Also, due to the layout of Olson's hotel room, he would have had to take a running start and jumped headfirst through the window. Gottlieb, who remained very active in Olson's treatment, also wrote a CIA manual on how to kill enemies covertly, and his favorite method was pushing them out a window and claiming they committed suicide. Frank Olson was a veteran who was survived by his wife and 3 children who have yet to get the truth. The most overtly disturbing research conducted for MKUltra was the research conducted by Dr. Ewan Cameron. Dr. Cameron treated individuals suffering from depression, anxiety, PTSD, and other things like that. Dr. Cameron's big career goal was proving a hypothesis. That hypothesis being, if you can induce amnesia in a subject and can make them forget of their traumatizing experience, then the trauma will cease to exist. First, he would put his patient into extreme drug-induced sensory deprivation. This sensory deprivation would range in length from 10 days to 3 months. This would produce the following results in Dr. Cameron's own words. Not only a loss of the space-time image, but a loss of all feeling. In more advanced forms, the patient may be unable to walk without support, to feed himself, and he may show double incontinence. Next, Cameron would administer electric shocks 30 to 40 times stronger than those used by other psychiatrists of the time. A few days of that, and then the patient was ready. They were moved to a solitary ward, force-fed LSD, given minimal amounts of food, water, and oxygen before, of course, forcing them into a helmet equipped with headphones, into which he would play phrases such as, "My mother hates me," thousands of times, for hours at a time. After completing the treatment of one patient, he wrote with evident pride that the shock treatment turned the then 19-year-old honors student into a woman who sucked her thumb, talked like a baby, demanded to be fed from a bottle, and urinated on the floor. Over 100 patients were subjected to Dr. Cameron's cruel experiments. The CIA conducted experiments on prisoners as well, and gave researchers ample freedom and funding to conduct these experiments as they saw fit. The usual MO was taking pre-existing opiate addicts and rewarding them with heroin for their consent to these experiments. They did not know what they were consenting to, therefore, it was not consent. If you chose to participate, you'd be dosed with LSD and placed into a padded cell for as long as the researchers saw fit. Usually 24 hours. In one case, 7 men were dosed every day for 77 days straight. There was, naturally, never any success in this program, as the goal was total and complete mind control, and that's Looney Tunes bullshit. To quote from The Search for the Manchurian Candidate by John Marks, which I highly recommend, "Facing up to the fact of the attempt has been agony enough. The heart quails to think of the catastrophe of success. What if Gottlieb and his researchers had succeeded in their wildest dreams, and no secret, nor the life of any enemy, had been safe from the CIA? Owning agents' body and soul, while attractive in theory, would have given us much to regret, to deny, and to hide. But Providence is kind, and blessed us with failure." But all these things are in the past. Sure, the CIA did unethical things in the 50s and the 60s and the 70s and the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s, but so what? I'm not a crazy conspiracy theorist. Except for the microphone dog thing. All those things they've done, that's in the past. The CIA is definitely not continuing to conduct illegal operations at home and abroad. So we should continue to fund and empower them. That is not unethical. That is not stupid. They deserve our money and our faith. Yes, everything I've discussed is horrible. Just unethical, monstrous, and just outright fucking stupid. But think about how hard they were punished for these failures. I mean, people went to jail for the things I've just discussed, right? The internet makes us terrible. This is footage of women getting beaten in the streets of Russia. They're protesting the legalization of domestic violence.
Оператор 112.
Девушка, вы слышите, как она орёт там за дверью?
Я что должна сделать-то?
Что с девушкой? Девушка уже мертва. 1,5 часа вызывали службы для спасения. Девушка орала: «Помогите, спасите». Никто не помог и не спас.
These women fear for their lives. But the algorithm won't know that. Upload it. Call it Feminazis Destroyed. Go into a store. Lick food on the shelf. Put it back. It's not just disgusting and unethical, but also very illegal. Do it anyway. Do it for the internet points. Go into the Japanese suicide forest. Film a dead body. Don't stop to think about either taking off your stupid fucking hat, nor thinking about whether or not you should post the video to your mostly underage audience. The algorithm does not incentivize thinking. From that stupid fucking tweet you saw the other day, to licking toilet seats. The algorithms incentivize behavior that does not make sense. You want to talk about being enslaved by machines, it's already happened, and it's far more humiliating than being a battery. The machines compel lies, crime, and mockery. You can wake up every day, work hard at your job, be a good person, take part in your community, or, conversely, you can be a monster. It pays handsomely. Ooh, liberals, am I right? Or should I say, liberals? Hell is real. We have built it. It's an Ouroboros. You know, the Ouroboros, the serpent eating itself. It is prominently featured in mythology in many cultures. Snakes do this in real life. In the absence of suitable prey, the snake mistakes its own tail for prey and, well, it consumes itself. The desire, which should ensure its survival, instead seals its fate. The Ouroboros accomplishes nothing. It eats because it must. It eats itself because that is all it can see. Its drive to survive is what kills it. It's all fake, all the way down. There's not a single ounce of sincere beliefs. It's fake. It's just attention getting. She learned from the fucking master. It is a perpetual emotion machine. It does nothing. It does not provide valuable commentary. It just eats attention and shits disillusionment. Anger without reason, content without meaning. It is a terrible, perfect, and infinite serpent. Travingle, Snowy Joe, I'm the next step, and I am now willing to accept that. I hope I don't have to say this, but don't harass Katie. Like, why would you want to harass anyone, that I've talked about in this video? Katie in particular, she wants to be harassed. Don't give her what she wants. She's a person pretending to be crazy for attention. Leave her alone. Who cares? We have our roles to play. And Katie, I'm sorry about all the foreplay. I think I wasn't ready to accept what I have to be, but I think now, I've come to terms with it, and I'm willing to play my part. Thank you for being patient when it comes to this. I told you at the beginning of this video that the internet makes us terrible. That's cheap. It's not true. The internet rewards us for being terrible. You can be a good person. The internet will just ignore you. What a terrible thing it is to be ignored. Could you imagine a more humiliating existence? Like no one knows who you are? Ugh. Disgusting. Katie, it took me a while to accept the role that I have to play in this, but I am now willing and ready to do what has to be done. I have a job to do. This is my job, so let's do my job. Look at how crazy the feminists have become. They kill dogs for chewing on fabric. They want to castrate you. They religiously worship random people on fucking Twitter. Look at how far the SJWs have gone. Thanks for your patience, Katie. I hope that was what you wanted. I hope this is the beginning to a long and fruitful partnership. And as we continue this dance for the next decade, what's important to remember is that, at least people know who we are. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you want to hear more things that you already think.